Hey guys, welcome to International Coaches Roundtable podcast, where we are gathering the best coaching voices around to shine a spotlight on the way coaching has changed the world. This week, hosts Sasha and Neha are going to be speaking with Priscilla Meiland about limiting beliefs and how to overcome them. Priscilla is a mindset coach with PM Coaching, and she has a lot of great stuff to offer, so make sure you listen in. All right, we'll catch you at the table.
Hi, welcome to International Coaches Roundtable podcast. My name is Neha and I am a life and law of attraction coach, and I am a host at ICR, or I should say I'm a proud host at ICR. Along with me, I have my co-host Sasha and our incredible guest Priscilla today, who is a mindset coach. Now, before we jump on to the real work that we're going to do today, I would just like to give you a quick gist about what are we doing at ICR. At ICR, we have a simple intention and mission to empower every listener out there with some tools and techniques and strategies which would help them to unleash their potential. Now, when I say that, all our upcoming episodes will have some amazing guests like the way we have today, and we would be covering up some very serious and interesting topics. With this, I would request my co-host Sasha to take over and explain a little bit more about today's episode.
Awesome. Thanks, Neha. That was a great intro. Well, hi, again, I am Sasha. I am a certified master life coach and professional organizer. I own the business Home and Life Solutions. So I help people with productivity. I am introducing our fabulous guest, Priscilla, who is a mindset coach, who's an expert at overcoming limiting beliefs. That's what our topic is going to be about today. That's what we are going to be talking about. We have lots of questions about limiting beliefs because 3 or 4 years ago, I had no idea what a limiting belief was before I got into this profession. And there's just a lot of information to talk about when it comes to limiting beliefs. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Priscilla so that way she can give us an idea of just who she is. And yeah, we'll just jump right into this.
Yes. So hello, Neha. Hello, Sasha. Thank you for having me. So I am a mindset coach, and women come to me when they want to uncover their secret wounds and take the learnings so they can use them into their present life and let go and heal so they can pursue their vision confidently with clarity and an action plan. So that is what I do. The reason why I'm so focused on uncovering your secret wounds is because these secret wounds are shaping your current present. This is what forms your belief system. And again, this also forms your limiting beliefs. The way you take action, it impacts your behavior. So that's why I'm so focused on helping women uncover their secret wounds so they can also recognize and uncover their limiting beliefs that come with it.
Can you just tell us a little bit about limiting beliefs? Like, what are they? What is a limiting belief?
Yes, I can. So I have my own definition of limiting beliefs. And for me, a limiting belief is nothing more than repeating other people's fear they put onto you until they turn into your own reality. Because when we're younger, we see other people's behavior around us, our parents, our teachers, the people that are most in our lives, and we adapt that behavior based on their experiences. This forms our own reality, and we take it with us into our adulthood. And we use other people's experiences to make our own decisions.
Yeah.
But it becomes so natural because we grow up with it. So sometimes we can't even recognize the limiting beliefs because it has turned into a habit, a pattern, and that's just the way you live.
So what? Go ahead, Neha, please.
Sorry. So does that mean that there are still many people out there in the world who are not even aware of the fact that they have certain limiting beliefs and it has an impact on their actions and their daily life?
Yeah, I would definitely say so, because you have to meet people, or you have to come in other surroundings before you could uncover even learn about limiting beliefs. For example, me, I used to be this party, no vision girl living from day to day, not even noticing that I was scared to prioritize myself. And where did this all come from? This came from a culture where, as a child, when you're opinionated, it seems like you're being inappropriate or disrespectful to your parents. It comes from a household where I told you so. So you grow up with this type of behavior and thinking that when you don't rock the boat, let me say it like that, when you don't rock the boat, you don't come into trouble. You understand me?
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
When you would
Yeah.
challenge your parents' perspective, you would get into trouble because you're disrespectful and I know better. So as you grow older, as you come into adulthood, you think that, okay, by simply saying yes and being a people pleaser, you have a perfect life and nobody will get mad at you. Nobody will challenge your perspective. Nobody would call you out. And this is your way of just living until I was like celebrating everybody's wins because I wasn't even focused on my own wins, because how can you when you're not prioritizing yourself? But I have lived for so long that way that it was normal for me not to prioritize myself because everybody around me was happy, right? Of course, because I'm always doing everything. And when everybody around you is happy, it looks like you're doing a good job. You have grown up seeing this behavior in your childhood, grown into it, adulthood. So it's normal. So that's why it can be difficult to uncover or even recognize a limiting belief.
That makes
It's
sense.
yeah, it makes sense. So for me, example, I was always prioritizing other people, their needs, because I come from a culture where challenging your parents' perspective or rules is like being inappropriate or being a disrespectful child. So you grow up as this adult by being afraid to be too opinionated because you think you're being disrespectful or people are not going to like you, or you're really thinking and putting other people's feelings before yourself.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice that before I started a job. And this job, I had a lot of ladies around me, and they were on this growth journey. Actually, let's not say precisely a growth journey, but they were all really readers. So they started with, "Hey, I have this great book. Do you want to come join our book club?" And I was like, "Oh, no, thank you," because I was the going out type. So no time to read any books. And it's so crazy. I had this belief that when you read books, you must be like this nerd, So it's also a belief. You see, I saw it on TV. I wasn't really surrounded with friends that read books. And my cool club at school always associated people that read or was learning as nerds. So I grew up thinking that if you're reading a book, it must be stupid. What are you going to learn from a book? So that's also a belief that I had to let go of. And so I started working with him 1 year in the company, and everybody was always talking around me like, "Oh yeah, I had this one girl and she was gonna move to Switzerland because she wanted to study there. And she had this whole plan. I'm gonna go there for a couple of years and I'm gonna study." I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool. She has a vision. She's like working towards something. I don't even know why I'm here or where I want to go to." And then I realized, like, I have no vision. I have no direction. I don't even know why I'm doing this. It must be amazing to know that every step you take is actually bringing you closer to this outcome you're searching for. And I started reading, I started meditating, and I started slowly speaking my mind. And that's how I changed. That's how I evolved and learned to really like trust my intuition, speak my mind, put myself first, and knowing that when people truly care about you, they will accept you for who you are, and they will also be very proud of you when you're growing into the right direction.
Yeah, the right people will, right?
Yeah, the right people.
Right.
Because they're happy for you when you're growing into the right direction. Even if that means saying no to them, but they're so happy for you.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that is how it started for me. So that was just a simple example, my own my own journey towards uncovering my limiting beliefs. And to come back at what Neha said, that sometimes you are so stuck into the past experiences of people around you and looking through their lens that you don't even recognize that you're holding yourself back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And with every intention you said, and when you're already creating this limiting belief that you're not able to achieve this, you already lost the battle before even starting.
So would you say then that that's like a pretty big impact that limiting beliefs has on people's lives, is that you risk potentially getting started before even trying or even thinking that there's a vision? So you risk basically, losing out on lots of opportunity. Would you say that is?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Because you're so focused on not achieving it subconsciously and consciously, so you are not even going to recognize all the doors that are open for you. You're not even going to see the opportunities because you're afraid to open your eyes. You are actually looking in the wrong direction.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's that, if I just try to, what I understand out of it is that so many times we are just so comfortable or with whatever we have covered ourselves in, that we don't want to even just take that risk of changing. Or it's like we start identifying ourselves as someone which we are ideally not, so it is like a false acquisition that we are living up with, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it starts in your childhood, and it's not only the things we as society see as normal, because of course, mostly sometimes people talk about like abusive parents or neglecting, not loving, attention, affection, or let's see, being bullied at school. But it's also things that we accept as a society, like overachieving parents. Everybody's like proud, that lawyer, that doctor. But what is the pressure that they are putting on their children, right? Maybe all this pressure they're putting at home that they should become like them is turning them into this never being good enough perfectionist. I always have to be better. So you bring this into your adulthood and actually always wanted to be better, never celebrating your wins because you're always looking for that next high, actually. Right? Or maybe like that strict household that's also accepted, that strict household, but that's like my way or the highway. And your child also grows up like this. Not understanding other people's perspective, not open for it, and it is my way or the highway. So you have all these different scenarios that create your beliefs that can limit you or serve you.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So would you say then, and I'm going to just ask this other question because it just popped into my head real quick, that there's a way that you can challenge your limiting beliefs that you have, even without maybe like, placing blame on people or the past. Like the reason why I say this is because I'm a firm believer myself that you can create your own reality and that you are responsible for your life and where it goes and who you want to be. It doesn't matter what happened to you. So the reason why I think about this is because I think to myself, yes, maybe my past was this way, but somewhere along the lines, I accepted that was true, that belief was true. And if I know that I accepted it as true, then I also know that I can accept it as not true.
Yep.
Is that something that you agree with?
Yeah.
Or
it's like you're feeling my energy. But it is actually the same way as I see it. Everybody decides and writes their own story. But like I said, it's most importantly that you find yourself in the right surroundings, or else you won't notice it. If you stick to the same surroundings, you're not going to see the light at the end of the tunnel because you don't know different. This is a life. So it's either reading a book, it's like watching a TV program, documentary, something that has to trigger you from it inside that it can be different. That it's not always like this, that it's not supposed to always be that way. Or if you're just stuck, but you are, let's repeat that, you are for sure the writer of your own story. And it's like the moment you decide that you're gonna look through somebody else's lens and decide how your life or day is going to be, you are giving away your power. And by taking that responsibility that Sasha is talking about, you are taking back your power to say, no, I'm not gonna live this mediocre life. I know I have so much potential left in me and I'm going to explore it. Because when you decide if you are willing enough and if you are going to do something, if you say you're going to wake up at 5 a.m., you can wake up at 5 a.m. if you want to. Totally. You decide, nobody else, except when somebody ties you to the bed, which is not going to happen. But like, nobody else decides it except you.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to like start a new business, you decide that. You don't decide like for once if it's going to be successful right away, but you're going to take steps into that direction so it becomes successful. Right. But every goal you set, every plan you make, you decide if you commit to the promises you make to yourself. And that's how you take responsibility. That's how you take back your power. That's how you create your own truth. That's how you create your own beliefs and push out the beliefs other people have rubbed onto you or put onto you. And that's where the powerful beliefs come in based on your own experience and nobody else's.
Right. So I have a question here. Like, I totally agree with the fact that we all are the ones who are just going to create our own reality. And again, being a law of attraction coach, like ask me,
right.
mantra. However, as an adult, and this is especially for our listeners, that as a normal human being, like me and you, we understand the concept of limiting beliefs and your potential and unleashing the potential pretty easily. How about people who are just getting introduced to this concept of limiting beliefs? And maybe it's like Greek and Latin to me. I don't even understand what are we talking about. So as a normal person, what is your suggestion, Priscilla and Sasha, even yours, that how would you suggest people out there who are listening to us right now to figure out, are they struggling with this limiting belief, or is there something that is stopping them and they have the potential? Because I don't know, as a listener, what is your suggestion for them?
So my suggestion is to definitely challenge your limiting beliefs. So I have this way of doing it. So the first step is knowing what your goal is or your vision, even if it's a daily goal, something small, it doesn't matter. What do you want to achieve? And for starters, you start telling yourself that it's possible. Once you do that, you write down all the steps that you have to take in order to achieve this goal. And after that, you write down every limiting belief at each step that is blocking you from achieving that step. That means that you said, okay, tomorrow I'm going to jump on a podcast call with Sasha. I have to write down 4 bullets. I have to order a camera on Amazon. See what are the limiting beliefs. Maybe a limiting belief is I don't have enough money to spend on a camera now. That's just because you don't see it as important as ordering sushi on the couch. So, where's your priority? So
I just had sushi the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Had to interject that. Sushi burrito.
We're on the same energy today, something. But,
anyway.
Check like all the limiting beliefs that are attached to each step. And once you've written down all the limiting beliefs, you start challenging them with all your accumulated knowledge as an adult now. because before you were a child, but now you know better. You have learned so much along the way. You start challenging it and see where this belief is coming true and if it's even yours and if it's even true. Once you've done that, you allow yourself to let go and heal and look for the other part, the powerful belief that you want instead. And right after you came up with that powerful belief, you take action right away. That's important. Take action right away. Because
absolutely,
once you skip to tomorrow, that means you have the same thing to do, but less motivation.
Right.
Yes. So I take action right away. So for me is seeing which limiting beliefs at all the steps, challenging them with all your knowledge you have right now, see if it's true, and then take action anyways.
That makes so much sense. Yes.
Yes.
And yes, because once you take action anyway, in that same moment, that limiting belief becomes invalid. Because you just proven, bam, it's not true. Because all this time, you haven't even tried it because you were so focused on other people's experiences, but you have no experience of yourself.
Yeah,
absolutely. Neha, did you have another question or were you trying? I just wanted to make sure that I was getting your thought in there. Did you have something to say?
No, I was just, I agree to what Priscilla was telling me. And like the way you girls said that, that we are the ones to create our own reality. And I feel that words have power, right? When you go ahead and repeat certain things, it's like identifying yourself. Oh, I am so bad at it. I am so poor at it. The more you go ahead and repeat these words, you start reprogramming your mind again with that negative mindset. Right.
Yes.
So the way Priscilla said that, once you go ahead and just figure out what are your limiting beliefs, and then you try to challenge them. So just to make it very easy for our listeners to understand, is it like you're talking about, let's imagine I'm trying to achieve goal A and my limiting belief under it is 1, 2, 3. Now, what are the possibilities to overcome those limiting beliefs, right? And I can just figure out what are the possibilities. Okay, accepting, okay, this is what the challenge is right now. However, if I really want to achieve my goal, this is all there in my list, which I can do, or I can try doing it. Yeah.
It's like I said, let's say, for example, I have this podcast and I have to buy a camera on Amazon. And that is one step to my goal of being here on this podcast. And as a limiting belief, I have written down, I don't have enough money to buy this camera at the moment. So I'm going to challenge that limiting belief by looking at my bank account, by seeing what I still have to do this month.
Right.
And if it's really necessary, maybe even on my list was buying a new jacket. What is more important, being on the podcast or buying a new jacket? So that's how you challenge your beliefs.
That makes so much sense.
You to find out what you prioritize and what is important to you and what is going to take you closer to your vision. Is that jacket going to take you closer to your vision, or is the podcast going to take you closer to your vision?
Oh, I really like that. It's how I understand it as that, it is more like reprogramming your mind, because the moment your mind, like spiritually and mentally, the moment you start exploring and you're brainstorming and you see all the possibilities, there's a sudden shift in the energy, and that just makes it so easy for you. And the thing which was really distant from you, it just suddenly comes so close, and you know that now you can do it. Yeah.
There comes the manifestation. There comes the manifestation. Yeah. And when you continuously practice this, challenging your beliefs, whether they're good or bad for you, that's what you know. Because something can be bad for me, but it can be good for you, right?
Totally.
So once you start challenging your beliefs and to know which one is serving you and which not, it becomes a habit of yours. You you embedded it in your mind, your subconscious mind, the more you practice it. So wouldn't it be wonderful that every time a thought comes up, you challenge it, whether it's good at a moment or bad, just to know where it is coming from and if it is leading you in the right way. Because some thoughts even wear mask, you think it is serving you at the moment, but once you really analyze it, you can see that it is definitely not serving you, not at this moment. It's not urgent.
Just to kind of make it really, really clear for people who maybe don't really know what a limiting belief is or have never actually heard of limiting beliefs, it sounds like you can really start this by just observing the thoughts that you think every day, or even just the way that you feel about certain situations. So yes, limiting beliefs is like, it's a big, not word, but phrase, I guess, that has a lot of bullet points underneath it. But at its simplest form, it's just being aware of the thoughts and feelings that you're thinking every day and challenging them and making sure that they are serving you towards your vision, is what I'm hearing you say, Priscilla. Is that right?
Yeah, there are definitely the thoughts, everything you learned, everything you've seen along the years are forming your limiting beliefs. Absolutely. We all have beliefs. Let's say, for example, when you read in a newspaper, violent bank robbery. The first thing that comes to mind, it must be guys, right? We've seen that in the movies. We've seen that in the movies. It's often written in the newspaper that are guys, but there are also women that do it. That's also a belief. Because we think women should be compassionate, loving, caring, girly kind, and men are bold and they're macho and they're strong. That's also a belief.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's really becoming very, very just getting quiet and becoming very aware of the thoughts that we think and the feelings that we're having, honestly. And that takes a lot of courage, you know. So if you're out there listening, and this is a new subject to you, take it in, what's the word? Take it in stride, I don't know what the word is, dang it. But either way, take it with a grain of salt.
You'll understand.
Because there's a lot of people in the same position as you that might not understand what a limiting belief is, but just keep it simple. There's that phrase, keep it simple, stupid. And it will and don't call yourself stupid, but just keep it simple for yourself and challenge things that you're thinking and feeling so that way you can lead a life that's more authentic and, closer to your vision, just as beautifully put as Priscilla has said. So now I know that we are kind of running out of time for the podcast. I want to get to the last couple questions. Priscilla, what has been exciting for you to be coming on here to ICR today? Were you excited? What are your hopes?
I was excited. I was excited to share my knowledge on limiting decisions, beliefs. Like you said, everybody is, most people are using those fancy words, but when it's new to someone, they don't know what a limiting belief is. So you have to break it down.
Yeah.
Like normal words, so they can learn something from it. And I know you and Nea are starting this podcast, international podcast. I'm all the way in Amsterdam, California, Michigan. So what is a better way to bring together minds and just learn from each other? And hoping that it reaches a lot of people so they get aware of what limiting beliefs are and that they can take back the power of their own lives and live their lives through their own lens instead of other people's experiences.
Right. Fantastic.
That was beautifully put. Thank you.
Yeah. And Priscilla, any particular tip that you would like to share with us today and with our audience, which we should just remember every time we think about ICR and Priscilla?
Every time we think ICR, Priscilla.
Something simple, For me is do it anyways. Like I said, do it anyways. When a thought comes up, do it anyways. Because the moment you do it, bam, this limiting belief is gone. Because you have just proven that it's based on a lie. This is not your experience to live.
Absolutely.
So do it anyways. Challenge yourself and do it anyways. And once you take the first step, the fear just fades off. Because there's no power over you anymore.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. Do it anyway. It's almost just like
for me, it's do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Priscilla, I mean, I really appreciate the knowledge that you have shared with all of us today, and I'm sure listeners would also love this episode. And
Mhm.
Sasha, what's your favorite tip?
Oh
for
my gosh. I love just all of the things that you shared. I mean, you were so vulnerable with us, and you really helped us to really understand what a limiting belief is and how it can negatively affect our life. And then you really did share some tips with us to, take away that could make it easier for people who don't know what a limiting belief is and never even heard of it. And I think that my favorite tip that you shared probably was just, you know, yeah, just the do it anyway part. I love that. The takeaway of doing it anyway, because, so many times, and I'll keep this brief, but in my life too, like I might feel afraid of something or exposing myself in a certain way or being too vulnerable or, even just showing up to get any kind of attention sometimes just freaks me out. I need to challenge myself and remember in such a short little phrase, just do it
Yeah.
anyway. It triggers me, I feel like, into action. And that's what happens is sometimes we get caught up in the thoughts and we just need to do it. And so thank you. I think that was a great tip. I appreciate it so much. So you guys, we have had an awesome, just packed full conversation about limiting beliefs today. I hope that you guys take something away. I know that I did. I'm sure Neha has. We are so looking forward to our next week's podcast. And if you want to get in touch with any of us, we will drop our business name and our links down below on our YouTube channel. Please like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and come to our Instagram page also for all kinds of ICR tips, tricks, and news. Please reach out to Priscilla if you are interested in having some of your limiting beliefs challenged by an expert life coach. And as always, stay awesome, and we will see you at the table next time.
All right, there you have it, guys. That was Priscilla Meiland with our hosts Sasha and Neha having a conversation about overcoming limiting beliefs. If you want to get connected with Priscilla, her contact info is going to be in the show notes. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, leave a 5-star review and go ahead and hit like, subscribe, follow, whatever button's in front of you, go ahead and push that one. And until then, we'll see you guys next time.